Dad, why did they call the World's Fair Century 21?
You mean it sounds a little too much like publicity?
Well,
Well, look at it this way, son. In the year 2000, you and all of your schoolmates will be grown-ups. You'll be responsible, maybe as a top manager or something like that. So all the decisions we take today concerning your education will have a big influence on the next century. The world is changing every day and faster, and the natural trend today is to look toward the future rather than back toward the past.
gee, I'm satisfied with life and the world around me, just as it is. We've got everything we need. Why change?
Well, that's true enough, but Billy, remember, you're one of the elect. There are millions of young children your age who go hungry, who are sick, who have no hope whatever in the future.
What is your future going to be like then?
Science and research have completely transformed our outlook. The age of space is going to bring a radical change to our way of thinking, to our conception of the world, our way of life, if you prefer.
Yeah, Dad, but there's so much to learn nowadays, all these new sciences. We can't hope to learn everything they try to teach us.
Well, this is the era of specialization, of course, but in spite of that, you need in modern society a good general knowledge of what's going on. You have to keep in tune with the times. Another type of education is going to be necessary all through your existence. So an education which is well adapted to this new life is the first key to the future.
That makes sense. And now I see the reason for all the research going on.
Research, son, is adventure. Now that the world is being explored, and besides, curiosity pushes us toward research like an irresistible force. We're cultivating the ocean depths. We have new illnesses to fight against. The mechanism of the brain, for instance, it's a boundless source of research.
Is research the second key to the future?
Now you're making sense too, Bill. You caught on fast. But among this research, there's one category in particular that's so important that we can separate it from the others and make it the third key to our future.
I'll bet it's about human beings.
Right.
The mechanism of the brain you were talking about.
Exactly, but not only man taken individually, but also man taken in the broader sense as a member of society. We're entering the great era of human and social sciences with all the innumerable facets it comprises. Put it this way, think of what these two simple questions imply. What is a man, and how does a society function? How is it organized?
I see what you mean. The questions are simple enough, but the answers... With so much new knowledge, how can we know how to choose the right techniques to make life as pleasant as possible?
Right, and that raises our fourth point, or key to the future. We must imagine and agree upon new decision-making methods. It's very important for us to know just what to decide and when to decide when confronted with certain problems and in certain circumstances.
That sounds fine, but people don't like other people to decide things for them.
That's a good point. This fourth key, methods of making decisions, must not curb individual liberties or individual thinking. Man must not be made to feel that his decisions are dictated to him.
You've got quite a bunch of keys there already, Dad. Are there any more?
Oh, there are more, all right, and some very important keys. For instance, and this is one of the most important too, we must try to adapt man's environment to him, and not force man to adapt himself to his environment. That's the fifth key.
By environment, you mean your house, your city, your office, the places you work in, and the people around you?
Exactly. And it includes transportation too, for instance. It's very important to have a good transportation system so that people don't go to the office feeling nervous and tired. But there are two other keys before we finish that have their importance too. The sixth key is your contact with nature.
I was wondering if you were going to talk about that.
You thought I'd forgotten nature? Nonsense. Without contact with nature, son, you can't find yourself. You're not a complete person, not only physically, but morally and psychologically as well. Going out into nature gives you a balance. And especially you children know that without exercise and fresh air, you'd wilt away like a flower and die. And that isn't all, because it's this very nature that leads us to the seventh and last key, the cultivation of human sensibility, of awareness to beauty. In a word, art. And that includes a good share of understanding and love, too. It's impossible to disassociate nature and art.
Nature, art, yes, but, Dad, what about faith?
Bravo, Billy. And just for you, we're going to add an eighth key to the future, that of faith. But faith taken in the broadest sense of the term, as exemplified in the lines of the late great French philosopher Gaston Berger.
I shall miss of earthly life neither power, which is despicable, nor pleasures which are frail. Only shall I miss my fellow beings. Two things on earth are precious. First is love. Second, far behind, is intelligence. Furthermore, love and intelligence are very close to him that understands. Beyond this, nothing.
This eighth key, Bill, you have your whole life long to find it and understand it. But leaving that one aside, I have a proposition to make. Try to define the 7 other keys we mentioned to the best of your ability, each in less than 20 words. And this goes for all of you listening in, too. The 7 keys will be read to you. Take them down. Think about them. And, I repeat, try to define them in less than 20 words. Send your answers to the French National Exhibit, Armory Building, 317A, Seattle, Washington. I repeat, the French National Exhibit, Armory Building, 317A, Seattle, Washington. On your answer, as well as on the envelope, don't forget to mention your name, your address, and also your profession, or the profession you intend to go into. The envelopes will all be open on the 20th of October of this year, which is also the deadline for sending in your answers. Everyone can participate, the old and the young, because in the future we shall all be young at heart. But do mention your age so we will know just exactly how young you are. A first jury in Seattle will be presided over by Monsieur Gotland, French consul in Seattle, and will comprise personalities and notables from that city. This jury will select the 100 best answers. A second jury in Paris, composed in equal parts of French and American personalities, among which the cultural and scientific attachés of the American Embassy in Paris, will decide upon the best answers.
What does the winner get for a prize, Dad?
I was getting to that, son. The first prize is what everyone hopes and wishes for his whole life long, a round-trip plane ticket, first class, to Paris, the city of light.
Gee, give me those questions. I'm going to work on them right away.
After the first prize, there will be 25 other prizes consisting of souvenirs from the French capital. And now, for the 7 keys to the future. Here they are.
Education, research, knowledge of man, making the right decisions, adapting environment to man, contact with nature, awareness of beauty. Let me repeat those 7 keys to the future once again. Education, research, knowledge of man, making the right decisions, adapting environment to man, contact with nature, awareness of beauty.